will be sharing her video, but before I do, I covered this before. So before Francis died, he said because he is the holder, the Pope is the holder of all the deeds to our lands, that we're in the Jubilee year, so the original owners get their lands back. So since 2020, the Red Nations have gotten back over 3 million acres of land and water rights. Please remember water rights. So for the bankers to continue to have a hold over our territories, they will have to get rid of our people. So that's why after Francis died, they started gathering our people and putting them into camps.
Not like my content. Let me introduce myself, okay? I've been on this app since 2020, warning people about a very dark agenda coming down on the human population, okay? The political theater is nonsense to me. And you're welcome to my page. You're welcome to have your own views. Everyone's welcome to my table because I'm here for the human population to warn them of something very dark coming upon them. And it's not hopeless. God has made a pathway out, but you really need to be on that narrow path. So just let me explain to you what my content has been about for the past 4 years. In 2020, an intrabody nano network was initiated upon the human population. That's technology, okay? And what it does is it wires the human body to be prepared to become a device for the purpose of the future linking into the Internet of Bodies. It's not the end step. However, they're also putting it in your food right now, okay? This is a real factual thing, and I encourage people to go look up Intrabody Nano Network. Now, if you want to know how do I know this information, because I've been following the technology since 2015, reading the passionates, following the technocrats, following the developers of this technology, following their global summits and the discussions that they have with corporate leaders and global leaders. Their whole agenda has been made public, but nobody pays attention. The political theater is all just to make sure that you folks get ensnared in this very dark agenda. But it's an intrabody nano network. That's not end game, right? It requires a chipping process, a CPU, okay, which will eventually come through more than likely a quantum dot, which can also be injected. People need to have their eyes open. Okay, but that CPU is what authenticates and individualizes the data for each and every individual human being. They know you folks are not going to take that willingly. So they have to walk you into it step by step and incrementally. Part of the way that they're doing that is by keeping the global population so distracted through this political theater, which they're all owned. Okay, they're all owned by a global banking cabal that is absolutely linked to Rome and Israel. So in order to walk people into taking that final piece of biotechnology, it's step by step. So the initiation of a digital currency system is definitely required, okay? But in order to manipulate people into taking that final chipping process, it's beginning with the Real ID. What the Real ID does, it links back to the Real ID Act of 2005, a very real thing. Go read it. That forfeits all rights of the legal person. Now, if you don't understand the difference between your legal person and your true standing as a man or woman on the land, then you're not even American. You're still a United States citizen. And the United States is being handed back over to its owners, the global bankers. You definitely need to get to that American status. And yeah, Trump is doing some things right now that can benefit that group of people. The question is, are you part of that group of people? Because he's not working for you. He's not working for that group of people. He's working for the global bankers. But this is an appointed time of God himself, where true Israel is being brought back into the land. There's a lot to know. Back on point, the Real ID forfeits all rights of that legal person. Okay? The U.S. military has been working on an operation called Operation Zero Trust for the past few years in order to secure our national internet. because we're moving into an age of quantum computing, and quantum computers are so powerful. They can break a 256-bit blockchain in a fraction of a second. So there's no way to secure your data, okay? And these technocrats and these global bankers want to move humanity into a digital world where you will live, work, and play within a digital reality, okay? And they need to do all of this to get you guys there. So through Operation Zero Trust, in the coming years, you're going to have to prove that you're human in order to even access the internet. If you guys are not noticing, AI is taking over everything, including social media. Deepfakes are going to become more and more of an issue, including hacking is going to become more and more of an issue. So their solution to that, they create the problem, they offer the solution, is going to be a digital ID. Now, what people will have to upload eventually is that real ID, which will be turned into your digital ID. But what that real ID does, what the digital ID will do, is it takes all of your data, and compiles it into one file under the name of your legal person. So when the name of your legal person is accessed, all of your data is accessed with it. What you buy, what you like, your psyche, your brain mapping, your health, everything. All of your data, your beliefs, your social media, all of it, okay? In the meantime, the US dollar is purposefully being collapsed, all right? Because this whole system is being upgraded. This global financial system is being upgraded. The unit of value is irrelevant. The US dollar is just a measurement of value. That's irrelevant. The system itself is that biblical beast that we were warned about. And it's being upgraded. And so while all of this other distraction and deception and this manipulation to get people into a certain position is occurring, the global digital currency system we're right on the forefront of it. Once that global and national digital currency is established and people are having issues being hacked and people are having issues accessing the internet because they can't prove that they're human, people will consent to accept that digital ID. Okay? People will accept the synthetic mRNA that wires their body to be a device. And once people do those two things, once they accept that intrabody nano network, okay, and that digital ID in order to access the Internet of Things, well then biotechnology, the requirement of the biotechnology is right around the corner. Right around the corner. And once they take that final step, the human mind, body, and soul, the consciousness, the human consciousness, has the capacity to be uploaded into the cloud. And the human body has the capacity to be inhabited by AI. The human body will be wired as a device that can be embodied by AI. They're not going to build armies of droids. You folks are going to become the little worker droids, okay? Why? Because it's cheap, it's efficient, and you produce your own energy. Now, I don't really care how crazy this sounds, but the person in office right now was the father of initiating that synthetic mRNA upon the population. He's initiating Project Stargate, which is a surveillance state, all right? Project Stargate is going to take 7 nuclear power plants at full power just to power the data processing. That data processing, it's operating at the speed of light as quantum systems actually use atoms within their chip. And those chips are replicas of the biblical temple of Israel, that third temple. I've been showing people this for years. I just keep getting deleted. But those systems require a lot of water. Watch the waters, which means you folks are not going to be able to freely use energy, freely use water. Freedom cities are smart cities. He's the one pushing for digital currency. He's serving the global bankers. That's the deep state. The deep state's actually Nephilim bloodlines that nobody looks at, nobody sees. So this is what my content is about. You're welcome to be here if you can handle it. Otherwise, I wish you the best.
A real ID.
Real ID.
Real ID.
Real ID.
Oh, real ID?
I'm not getting the real ID.
It is a federalized identification system that everyone in the nation will have to have in order to fly domestically. They've been trying to pass this since the 80s in China. They had already passed a nationwide identification system. So everyone has something very similar to the real ID in China. The next step was the social credit score. They gave like a list of things that happens to lower your credit score. So court rulings, so like refusing to pay debts, criminal convictions, traffic violations. So I saw one thing, jaywalking can ruin your social credit score.
And those cameras catch it all too.
Then unpaid taxes or fines. If your credit score gets lowered, that bans you from flying on a plane, a train, sometimes even a bus. Keeps you from enrolling your children in private schools, applying for certain jobs or promotions. This one was a crazy one. They can slow down your internet speed. Just little inconveniences to make your life miserable. And then public shaming via government lists or media alerts. So I saw this one thing where they literally have like a LED screen board in this one city, and they just display faces and names like, this person jaywalked, they're just a terrible person. It's like public shaming. It's crazy.
Today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age, something that is absolutely vital. You got to do it. Moving from clipboards and fax machines into a new era of convenience, profitability, and speed, and frankly, better health for people. Under the leadership of Administrator Oz, we're officially launching the CMS Digital Health Tech ecosystem to give healthcare providers, insurers, and software companies the tools they need to empower Americans with a 21st century experience on health. The key breakthrough we've made is getting many of the biggest names in the healthcare and technology to agree to industry-wide standards for electronic medical records. All of those great companies that you just heard have gotten together with this group of very brilliant people. I think